Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of A Little Bit Woo. We are your hosts, Kirsty and Gemma, and today we are talking about why woo, why we got into it, how we met, and actually why we actually started the podcast.
You're looking at me.
Who else am I meant to be looking at?
So the funny thing is, me and Gemma haven't actually known each other that long, as much as people think that we've been married off to each other for a long time.
Will you be my wifey?
No.
Fuck you then. She loves me, really.
Yeah. So
all jokes aside,
we
we
were
just have
actually-
really good banter.
we were actually on a course last year at Helen Thornton's. Big up Helen Thornton. Great courses if anybody wants to go on them.
Yeah, great girl.
And
Sorry.
I was just minding my own business, eating my lunch actually, and this bubbly character came and sat next to me, and she said, "I think I follow you on Facebook," and I went, "This is a bit weird." And
Sorry.
she showed me my own Facebook page, and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And then, yeah, I think.
Well, hang on a minute, right? You're just making it out like I've just like some child, like how to make friends, like.
That's pretty much it.
All right, in your interpretation.
And then I
Go
don't
on.
know how did we get talking about Warwick, because I know that I think I said I'd been listening to the Warwick Schiller podcast on the way down to the course. Maybe that was it. But that was where we kind of went, "Ooh, she's
ended
for
up
me."
I'm a bit of you. We ended up chatting away in the car park for quite a while. I think there was crystals mentioned at some point as well. No, that was after.
I wasn't into crystals then.
Oh.
What a journey I've come on in the last year.
And now she's got a little treasure chest.
A little treasure chest.
Yeah, no, we were in the car park talking for ages. And yeah.
No, we got talking about Warwick Schiller, and you said, "Are you going to the podcast summit?" is what you said to me. And I said, "No, I'm busy that weekend." That's what happened.
Yeah, but then we didn't really.
No,
that was it.
That was
we
it
parted
then.
Company.
Yeah. Added each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Parted company.
And that was that.
And then I was going to the Manolo Mendes. And I'd put out on Facebook, "Is anybody joining me?" And you messaged me and you said, "I'm going." So I was like, "Oh, that'd be really nice to see you there." So that's when I saw you there again. And that was like June time, was it? And I think you actually said to me again that day, "Are you going to the Warwick Schiller Journey on Podcast Summit?" And I said, "No, I've got something on that day." And literally that night, the thing that I had on that day got cancelled. And I was like, this is a sign. I have to go.
But you went to a crystal shop the next day.
I did, yes. Yes, I did.
So would you actually say that was when you went to So hang on a minute, rewind. At what point between when we first met in April to Manolo in May did you start getting into crystals?
I'm not sure. I was just driving when we were down in Oxfordshire, and there was this sign that just kept popping up on like laybys and on roundabouts saying "Crystal Shop opened," and I was like, I think I need to go there.
Yeah, because obviously you didn't come to the next day of Manolo.
Yeah.
And I remember because we were messaging.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, I'm going to go to the crystal shop," and then I was like, "Oh, tell me which crystals you're going to get." And then that sort of started this like little conversation back and forward. And then I said, I think I just went, "Oh, if you're going to go, you need to come with me."
Yeah, to the podcast.
The podcast summit.
Yeah, so that's when we kind of just booked his own accommodation and decided.
No, I booked it all.
No, you didn't book mine.
No, as in decided, because you were messaging me and you were like, which hotel are you staying at?
Oh, no, I know.
And I
but
was like,
mean...
let's stay there. And then I sorted the train out, didn't I?
Yes.
So I was like, come to me and we'll go down together.
Yeah. Yeah, so really,
this
when
sounds
we went
really
there,
wrong, but
really, when we went there, we didn't really know each other, did we?
no.
So I turned up at your house. And off we went for the weekend.
And the rest is history.
Well, the rest was history, because that was quite profound.
But you know, I love that though, because it's like, you know, I think when you meet somebody and click instantly, and then you know, you just go, that's my person.
Yeah,
they're going to be in my life.
Yeah, well, we literally got on that train and just talked for like an hour and a half, didn't we?
Yeah, we never
And
stopped.
then it was really funny when we got to Birmingham how we kind of took on our own roles, whereas I was the navigator and you were the mother hen. Yeah. And it was like, oh, it's fine, we fall into our own roles. And then, yeah.
We went to...
No, as we got to the hotel,
and
we passed Coyote Ugly, and you were like, oh, we've got to go in there.
That was it. I mean, right, let's just... Like, if you listen to Warwick or follow him or anything like that, you know the journey that he's going on, and you know, you can sort of preempt his or imagine how his podcast summits would be. And his UK podcast summit was right slap bang in the middle of the clubbing district of Birmingham. We didn't, and do you remember, because we both walked out, we were a bit like, oh, city vibes, you know.
Oh yeah, we were like the country girls that had just been dumped in the middle of a city, like, oh, how do we use a zebra crossing?
Yeah, and I think what did it, we were just chatting all the way there, and then we were walking through Birmingham, and then we realised that our hotel was literally next door but one to Coyote Ugly. And at that point, I was like laughing. And then we ended up going out and having cocktails and a meal and just chatted all night. And then we went to the podcast summit. Well, that was life-changing.
That was life-changing. Wasn't quite sure what to expect.
No.
Really good speakers. And then they did a thing they hadn't done before called connection circles. So at the end of the day, they did like... we all went off into groups with one of the speakers or one of the presenters from the weekend, and it was basically to reflect on the day in a safe space, because obviously when you come home from these things, people may not be on the same level as you, for you to kind of reflect on the whole experience. So they thought they'd put it in as a bit of a what's the word,
opportunity to
just to kind of process what's gone on.
So the connection circles were, it was there was quite a lot, there was a strict rule of you just held the space, so you weren't allowed to follow on for if someone had something that had to come up from the day that they needed to speak about. You were not allowed to say anything, you just held the space, and you weren't allowed to not talk over them, because that would be rude, but
you weren't allowed to say like me too or yes, yeah, basically, I'm feeling that too. It just had to be you put out what you wanted to say, and everybody just went thank you, namaste, whatever. That's what we did on our side.
Yeah, and there was, for me, there was moments where we just all sat in silence.
Yeah.
And held the energy, and that was whoa.
Well, I think there was big change for me that day. So I think that was probably the first time I've really had to just sit in my own thoughts, and that was mega.
Yeah.
So I was actually in Warwick's connection circle in the first day, so he was like, right, this is how they run, and obviously he'd done them before when he'd gone to Bali and things, so he was really quite strict on what the rules were. No laughing, no nothing, you just say what you say, and then we sit, and we don't go around in a circle, you just speak when you feel you need to speak. And I was sat there, and I remember there was like Will Rogers just there, and there was Denise, what's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
The astrologer lady.
Yeah.
And I was just like looking around like, oh my God. And I was actually like rocking, and I could feel all this kind of something bubbling inside of me. And it was obviously emotions that I've never sat with before, because I've just gone and picked up my phone before, or, you know, I'd distract myself from that normally, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I'm like rocking, and then just said what I needed to say, and then just burst out crying. Everybody was just crying, and there was all sorts of stuff coming up. It was very, very, yeah, like a bit out of body sort of experience.
Yeah.
But I knew. It was funny when I drove to you that first day to go to the train. I remember driving on the M62 and thinking, I'm not going to be driving back the same person on Sunday.
I think we said that when we were on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And I definitely wasn't the same person that returned.
No. I mean, and the thing is, like, so day one, at the end of the day, we went back to the hotel, and it was like, oh, could this weekend get any better than what we did from day one?
Yeah.
And that night, I think we both were like, we just have to go out. We need to go and have an early night. So it was very...
We just had food and just went to bed, didn't we? Because we were just like,
and then the next day, it was almost like the next day I felt it was you hit the core.
Yeah.
So I think most of the whole auditorium was in tears most of the day.
There was just like almost like an emotional hangover that day, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not even going to go into detail of what. So the thing about the summit and what I loved is, and again, I didn't have any expectations of what was going to happen. I just went because I like Warwick. And I like...
And the podcast.
Yeah,
and the guests.
Yeah. So what's profound is that all the people there were all there because of horses.
Yeah.
Nothing, the whole weekend, it was not about horses at all.
No.
It was all about self-development.
Oh, yeah.
And, spirituality.
And how horses have led people to that.
To this point.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm not each speaker came with something so profound and unique and raw. So there was just like, to be able to listen to a speaker that have just dropped their guards, and just whatever came out where, and I can't even begin to describe like the energy and that. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Yeah.
So on the Saturday, by the end of the day, you're almost exhausted, but to the point that you just needed to shake it off. So I said to Kirsty, we need to go out. So we ended up going out to Pop World.
We went to Coyote Ugly first.
Yeah, they're true.
And then we came out of there. And then Pop World actually streams music into the street. So they were streaming something like Spice Girls, Spice Up Your Life or something. And we both just looked at each other like, should we go in there? 4 hours we were in Pop World. We didn't sit down once.
Nope.
And we just danced. Literally, I had like no makeup on because I cried it all off during the day. We'd literally just gone out in the clothes we were wearing for the conference, for the podcast summit. So we weren't like in going out clothes as such. We were just literally just raw. Just raw. And honest to God, the amount of people that just wanted to be near us because our energy was just absolutely vibing was just ridiculous.
We literally danced it off, and then it got to about midnight, and we were like, should we go to bed now?
Yeah, but I was like, I literally got back to the hotel room and I was just euphoric. I was just laying in bed
so
like,
much
what
fun.
the hell?
And so, I mean, you'd be like, oh my God, it's going on this self-development journey. And, trust me, there was a lot of, I think who was it that was playing, they were singing in the foyer with Warwick and all them lot at one night.
Oh, that was Rupert Isaacson.
Yeah. So, everyone's just normal humans. And the thing is, the next day when people are like, oh, what did you do last night? And we were like, we were in Pop World. And they were like, oh my God, I wish we'd come out with you girls. And then what was really cool was obviously day 3, the first thing that they talked about.
It was like a panel talk, wasn't it?
Yeah, a panel talk was all about mad joy. So that's why if you look on our social media, if me and Kirsty are having a moment of mad joy, we always say like mad joy wins. And we both looked at each other.
But we were like, well, we don't know what mad joy. When it was up on like the screen, we were like, what's mad joy? And then Rupert Isaacson was like, mad joy is like when you just completely let go and you just having the time of your life. And we both just like looked at each other with our mouths open like, that was us last night. Mad joy.
Yeah. It's murder on the dance floor. If you might have to
I might have to repost
that video. I don't even know how that happened. But...
There's a lot of videos from that night, which are just, they're actually, when you're having a bit of a day where you're maybe a bit on the downer, I just watch them videos and I'm like, yeah. But the thing I found about that as well is that I think with all of COVID and everything, I just kind of become a bit of a recluse. And actually, just because I'm in my 30s now doesn't mean I have to become an adult and be a recluse.
Bloody hell, I'm in my 40s and
I'm allowed to have fun and actually, you know, really reignite that kind of joy, which everything seems to come back to that we talk about.
I think for both of us, that summit reignited our joy, our joy for life, our joy for having fun, our joy for not... I think it was Rupert Isaacs that said, maybe him or I must have heard it from another podcast. So it was either at the Journey On podcast or I've heard it on a podcast where someone said that confidence or a confident person is a person that can take the absolute piss out of themselves.
It was Rupert.
Was it? Yeah.
It sounds like something he'd say.
And not care. And I'm sat there going, that's me. I have no, like, that, you know, I don't...
Well, he came on the stage riding a dirty mop, didn't he? So there you go. That just kind of puts it into context.
and it was all bringing it to like mad joy of just being, you know, what was the quote that he said? The crazy fool is the... Oh, I'm gonna have to find it now. So it was Rupert that said the mad fool is the wisest one in the room. So if we can create more joy, we may be seen as mad in the world, but that's okay. Be you.
Yeah.
I love that, where he was like the mad fool. Why do I feel like this podcast is actually not about how we met, but it's all about the Journey On podcast?
Because I think it played a massive role in how we got friendship to where we are.
Yeah, and he put mad joy is when is the loss of mind. Enjoyment is when you can bring the mind in, and softens, like it finds balance between the two.
Yeah.
And we were sat there like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, we were literally like, wow, that's crazy. We discovered mad joy last night, and he's talking about it today.
Yeah.
How ironic!
How ironic. As if it wasn't
universe.
Planned. It was bloody planned.
It was bloody planned.
Just not by a human. Yeah, so we went home on an absolute high.
Yeah. And then I think that was it then, wasn't it? And then, yeah, we've just kind of... We started talking a lot more then, didn't we? And, you know, talking about work and things.
Do you know what got me right?
Go on.
Is that, and I forget, like, I could sort of tell the type of person you were, but the type of person you weren't at being. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
you saw my potential.
I saw your potential. So no, but seriously, like I was like, Kirsty's not a hugger. And I'm like the queen of hugs, aren't I? Like, yeah. And I'm like, you could see, like, I'd be like, giving you a hug, and you'd be like, a bit stiff.
Like a board.
and by the end of the weekend, what did it for me is we were at the train station, and I could see, like, you, and I'm not, I mean, I'm probably, I wear my heart on the sleeve, so I'm very much the opposite. I need to rein myself in sometimes, where there was moments where I would be like, oh, she doesn't, the emotions are not being as expressed, but it's in there. And then I remember we were sat at the train station, and I think you'd made a comment about something, and then I had made a comment back, like, don't you forget how amazing you are, or something like that. And then we were talking about how like amazing it is, like the whole journey on Podcast Summit. And then you turned to me and said, and I was like, we're friends for life. And you turned to me and you were like, I don't think I would have wanted to do this with anyone else.
Oh.
And I was like,
who was I that day?
And now she calls me bitch. Love you, bye.
Endearing.
Yeah. And I was like, oh wow. I mean, it changed me. Yeah. Yeah. So we carried on chatting, didn't we? For a long while, and we'd not really seen each other. We'd only just like text, the odd WhatsApp, and then when was the next time we saw each other? Oh, the animal communication.
Yes. So I went on holiday, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And then did more reading, more listening to things. And then we'd both booked to do an animal communication.
I got quite a lot of videos of Kirsty
having mad joy
on her holiday, and one of them she's shouting, Gemma. It's like, okay,
well, this is the really funny thing.
Me.
I think Johnny thinks I've completely lost the plot. So we, in the hotel we were in, they have like a big party night on a Friday, like a white party and then a neon party, and it's everybody in the resort knows all about it. And we had this white party, and I had that much mad joy that I actually lost Johnny at one point and ended up doing tequila shots with some Mexicans. That's how my life's now changed. Some people may say I live a midlife crisis. I say I'm living my best life.
Yeah, too right you are.
So yeah, so we did I came back and we did the communication course, didn't we?
Yeah.
With Libby. We need to get Libby on here. And that was cool.
That was cool. And the thing is, what was really funny was like we'd not seen each other since the summit.
Yeah.
And it was like we both came up and bought ourselves each other presents
that both said mad
joy on. And then we ended up in the room, and you sat with people you knew, and I sat, and the whole time, like, it was almost like telepathically communicating across the room at each other. And I think something was said, and then I'd just look at you and I'd just wink and be like, we know what we're talking about. And then you ended up coming, and you felt called to come.
Oh yeah, the last session she said something, didn't she? And I was like, there was just something in my head that went, I need to go and sit with Gemma. And I went over to you and you went, your granddad's just dropped in. And I was like, yeah. I knew there was a reason I needed to come to you. That was
pretty epic. And then I think that was then around the time where we then started, it was after then, that's when we started our little morning ritual. So actually we now talk to each other every single day regardless, because we have to do our little morning self-care. But it's now gone from doing the morning rituals to sending each other 50 million reels a day, because let's face it, you're not real
if you're not sending a reel.
you're not in a real relationship if you're not sending each other at least 10 million reels a day. I mean, how do we actually do our work and everything else?
Because we're magic.
And then the voice notes are coming. And now, fast forward, now we literally speak to each other physically every day.
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't, I've lost an arm. I'm dramatic, like, I don't mean that. But I'd probably speak to you. Fuck off. I probably speak to Kirsty more than I speak to my own husband. He's like, you go off and have your mad joy.
You do you. So then the whole A Little Bit Woo kind of came about. So I know we keep talking about Warwickshires podcast, but there was an episode with Tanya Kindersley, and she talks about the super woo. And I remember listening to it and going, well, I don't think I'm quite super woo, but maybe I'm a little bit woo. So then when I was out working and, talking to clients, I was like, well, I'm just a little bit woo.
I've always said that.
Just a little bit woo.
Just a bit woo. Or a bit fluffy.
Just a bit woo. Just a little bit woo. And it kind of stuck. And it's almost like, I don't really like labels. That's another topic in itself. But it actually stuck as like a label of, I'm just a little bit woo. So then I had some woolly hats made up with A Little Bit Woo embroidered on. And actually, I wasn't going to be giving Gemma one of these hats. I was keeping them both for myself. I bought her something else for Christmas.
Well, hang on a minute. So it was actually the next time we saw each other was when you came with me and my team to
the Horsemanship
Showcase. And you had your jacket had a little bit woo on. And we were like, whoa, hang on a minute. Like, what is that? And I think Amelia was like, oh my God, I need one of them coats. And we already started talking about, like, when we were chatting, between back and forward about how, our personal frustrations in the industry or concerns or what we hear our clients say and or our own, little bit woos conversations that we have, maybe with clients and things like that. And then we went to the Horsemanship Showcase, and then that was when we saw the.
But I'd had the hats done at the same time as I'd had the jacket done.
Okay.
So I had the hats done, and then I'd actually ordered you something else for Christmas, and it actually got lost in the post. And I was like, oh my God, what can I give her, like, as the main present? And I was like, she can have one of my hats. Because I hadn't worn one of them at that point. And I was like, she can have one of these hats. And I remember coming, and you actually sat in the chair you sat in now.
We are recording from my place today.
From my place. And then, I remember giving it to you, and you literally just, like, looked at me and went, oh my God, that's it. A little bit woo. And I was like, yeah.
Because we were talking about, I think you were I've always wanted to try and create a platform of a place where, little bit woo people or people in the equestrian industry that are in the middle of
feeling a bit
stuck.
Yeah.
Or they
don't belong somewhere.
Yeah. Don't belong in the best sense.
Yeah.
They're doing them and they're figuring it out.
They do belong, but they just haven't found their people.
Yeah, that there you go. And we were both talking about, like, creating a platform, and you were talking about it as well. And I just was like, well, why don't we do it together? And it was like, I don't, I think when it comes to friendships and business, it's got to be a hell yeah for me to even be like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's got to be the right, otherwise, I wouldn't be like, hell yeah. And the two of us were like, hell yeah, let's do it. And then it was that little bit woo.
Yeah.
And then it's really funny because we started speaking about this like around October, November time. Then
we found the name at Christmas. When I gave you a present.
It was actually New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yes, it was New Year's Eve.
Because you came here for the day, and we had a day together, went out for lunch, randomly ended up in the Barber outlet shop, whatever. What's all that about?
Well, we're just wandering to think.
Driving around.
Coyote Ugly Barber Outlet Shop, you know.
I was like, I didn't even know I lived near a barber outlet shop. And the next minute we're in it, and I'm like, what is going on? I mean, what? Yeah, great, but random. And then, and then that was when, because you went home that night, and I joined the Francesca Amber goal setting party.
Oh, yeah.
Because you weren't you going away?
You'd done the gold setting party at that point.
Oh, who knows? It's all blurs into one. Anyway, and then we started like really talking about it, and we said, right, we need to have a proper meetup, and you know, how we're going to go.
It was never going to be a podcast.
Never going to be a podcast. Never going to be a podcast.
Because that is really not how I roll. I hate the sound of my voice.
I love your voice. It's the way you go.
I hate the sound of my own voice.
Sir. I love that.
So I was like, no, that's my absolute worst nightmare, to do a podcast.
But how did we even get to that?
I don't know.
How did we?
How
did we get here? What are we doing? I think it was like, how do we get our point across? How do we build a community? How do we reach people who are feeling, lonely?
Yeah. And the way to do that is to talk into their ears. Well, they're doing the washing up. That's one for you, Sandra.
And yeah, so we were like, right, well, let's do it. And I remember saying, I think we need to do a podcast. And I could see your face going, oh my God. I was like, well, I can talk the hind leg off a donkey. I don't really care. I mean, at the end of the day, we've just got microphones attached to our boobs at the moment. And we're just talking face to face, like we're having a general chat.
About how we met.
All right. And yeah,
to be fair, like when we're together, it is pretty much just a podcast all the time. So we were like, well, we might as well just record it.
But so many people have said to me, like, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a YouTube channel. And I'm just like, oh, because I've got time for that shit on top of everything I do already.
But if we include lunch, that's how we get round it.
If it's got the C word.
C word?
Cake. Why would you not? And we then to be honest, it's more of an excuse to spend more time together, which is even better. How cute is that?
Have some mad joy.
And have more mad joy. So that's how we got to where we are right now. But the reason why we're doing it is because we both felt so passionately about creating a platform or creating a space, a safe space for horsey people to just be able to be themselves, not be judged, feel seen. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Where it's okay to be who you are and what you're doing, and if not feeling belittled, downtrodden, or anything else. Yeah, we want to be able to create a space where people feel seen, heard, safe, not judged, where they can explore and just have fun and bring it back to the big J word that keeps coming through. And sorry, guys, it ain't Jesus, it's mad joy.
Mad joy, bring it all back to you.
Where, and where you can cross between having normal, just being normal, being yourselves.
We say normal in inverted commas.
All right. Speak for yourself. I'm ever the professional. No. And yeah, like,
just don't be so serious. Don't take life so seriously. It's too short. You don't know what's around the corner.
Bingo.
Just mad joy.
And actually, isn't the root of a more spiritual minded, we
just being free,
gratitude, raising your vibration, I mean, these are topics that we need to we can delve into and talk about. How do we raise our vibration as an equestrian? Oh God, she's off again.
Carry on.
Where we just lift each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed that I say absolutely a lot on these things, and now it triggers me when I say it. But yeah, I think we need to put it out there and just say we want to hear what you want to know about, because tell us
We've got
what you want us
many
to chat
things
about.
we want to talk about.
Yeah, we want to know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah,
or if you actually want to come on and talk about something, we can open that up to you.
Right.
This is a safe
Q&As.
open space.
Pardon? Could do a Q&A.
Yeah, can do that.
People can send questions in.
We might filter out some of the questions, but and then I think even having like a space on Facebook, like a closed, safe space, where maybe we hide a password in a podcast or something, so there's only people can get in on the know, and it is a safe space, because I think some spaces on Facebook are really toxic. And actually, if you're opening up about things like this, where maybe you are a little bit woo, that
was it. Because I think I said to you at one point, I was like, there is actually so many natural, holistic, spiritually minded horse owners who are in the closet because they're on, or they're not, they're going, at home, they're doing the Reiki, shamanic, or crystals, blah, 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 and then they come to the horses and they're still being very traditional. And it's like, I'm like, I think there was one time where I was talking to someone and they were going on about crystals and they go for Reiki and all this lot. And then it didn't correlate, like the way she was with her horses and the way she was
with how she was
with herself, and she's a beautiful human. And I'm just like, you're in the closet when it comes to your horses because you haven't embraced who you are and incorporating it into that with your horses, which just say,
you're scared of what people say.
Yeah. Or the eye rolling, and so I say,
let their eyes roll to the back of their fucking heads.
Let them let me.
Let them let me.
But it's
episode 5 of the podcast.
Yeah, go back. It's Comedy Genius. The first 3 minutes, I can't even believe we vibed through that, but never mind. And so I think that it's having that space for people to just be free with the horses, and they don't have to follow rules or follow
my leader.
All right, follow the leader.
Follow the leader.
Right. Well, we've been chatting for nearly 40 minutes now, so I think we'll leave it there for this week. What do you reckon?
I think that's cool.
Anything else to add?
No, I think, like, share, and leave a review if you want. I think, is that how we get known? I don't know. But, the more people we can get involved with this that are feeling the same, then the more people...
You'll be surprised how many people are feeling the same.
Yeah.
So many people are feeling the same. And so at that, like, people I speak to, they'll be like, oh, this is how I'm feeling at the moment. And I'm like, you need a little bit woo. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on over. You're all welcome. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party and a cup of tea.
And a cup of brew. Right.
A cup of brew.
A cup of brew. What's wrong with that? Cup of brew.
Let's have a brew.
Right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week. So thank you so much for listening, as always. And like Kirsty said, follow, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next Tuesday for a little bit woo. Woo woo!